There we go. I'm gonna share. So today we are going to be talking about creating the content. Who's ready to create some content? So let's just do kind of a recap. By now, we should have identified a couple of things. Let me manage the sound. I know some people are a little loud. There we go, got everyone muted. So by now, we should have identified a couple of things. If not, we're gonna go back to day one and you're gonna work your way back to this training, because if you're just sitting in on this, you're gonna be totally confused. And so if you're joining us today, just sit back, take in all the conversations, take in all the training, but definitely go back to day one and start working your way through, because on day one, we went over creating the steps in your customer's journey. If you do not know the steps in your customer's journey, no marketing that you're ever going to do, not only with this group training, but with ads, with content, with organic, paid, it's not gonna work. So we're gonna go back to day one. If you have not done that, for instance, just a quick recap, my customer's journey, one, they need to have awareness that they even need ads, right? If I don't convince you guys that you can do your own ads, or that ads are not expensive, I'm never going to sell you into the $7 program, right? So that's the step one of my customer's journey, the awareness phase. Two, they have to have the foundations of how to build their first ad. Step three, the entire ad strategy. Step four, optimization. And then five, scaling. So that's my customer's journey, right? That's what we did on day one. We identified what our customer's journey looks like, because again, if you don't have this identified, no marketing that you ever are going to do is going to work. And then you have to identify where that group is going to fit into that journey. So my group does not fit into step one of their journey. Some of you guys, your group might fit into that awareness phase, but mine just so happens to fit in step two, which is the foundation of building ads, okay? So that's what we covered on day one. On day two, we broke down that one step into phases that are going to make up our group, right? So if we look at my $7 program, right, we all start with the organic foundations of proving your offer. That can be found in the 7-day organic marketing sprint. Phase two, the nurturing of audiences. We're in phase two. This training is going to live in phase two of your back office, retargeting those audiences with their first ad and how to build an audience from a cold audience. So that is all of the phases that make up step two in my customer's journey. So by now, we should have broken up whatever step our group is going to live in. We should have broken them up into phases and individual trainings, okay? Anyone have any questions up until where we are right now? All good? Awesome. That's perfect. I cannot wait to take a look at all of your group phases and everything. So today we are going to talk about optimizing your content that's going to engage, empower, and graduate your audience to the next phase. Now, this is what most Facebook groups out on the market are failing to do. They're failing to engage, right? You see a lot of Facebook groups, they hardly have any engagement. No one's talking to anyone else. It's all just a big sales pitch. No one is empowering. The content's not empowering anyone to do that. No one's getting any small wins. And so therefore their groups go dormant. And then people are like, should I run ads to my Facebook group? I'm like, not until you have done all of these steps that I'm teaching you guys this week, which by the way, on day 5, I'm going to show you guys the simple $5 strategy that's going to help you fill your group. And so basically today we're going to be talking about how to create optimized content that's going to empower, engage, and graduate people into that next phase. So I want to give you guys an example that you guys are going to be familiar with. So in step 2 of my customer's journey, they have to learn the foundations of learning how to place their first Facebook ad. Phase 1 in that step 2 is the organic foundation for proving your offer. So before they can even place a Facebook ad, you guys have to understand how to prove your offer. It is much easier to sell your offer to your warm audience than it is to a cold audience. And so that's why the organic foundation is super powerful. And so my phase one inside my Facebook group is teaching you guys how to have an organic foundation for proving your offer. And I named it the Organic Marketing Sprint. So each of my phases, I'm going to give people curriculum in order to move to that next step. So if we take a look right here at phase one inside the back office, and I highly recommend you guys creating some type of training platform that is outside of the Facebook group. And I recommend this because what if something happens to Facebook, right? What if your profile gets shut down? What are you going to do? And all your content's living inside your Facebook group. So, and it doesn't have to be complicated. This could live in a playlist under your YouTube channel, which is an excellent way. Like if you don't have a training platform, you could also host this as a playlist on YouTube, because guess what? You can go back and remarket those people who are watching all of the training within your group, right? So you're doing a double thing. You're able to actually pixel them with the Google Pixel, and you're able to actually pixel them with your Facebook Pixel because they've already gotten into your group and you should have pixeled them in two places. So now, so that's why I would recommend you guys hosting it somewhere outside of Facebook, whether that's ClickFunnels, whether that is Kartra. I'm actually, full disclosure, I'm actually moving my platform onto Kartra for several reasons. But one of them is, I'll announce it here, you guys are gonna have an affiliate program. So now you guys are gonna be able to, when you recommend my $7 group, you're gonna get paid for it. When you recommend my premium program, you're gonna get paid for it. And so that just a little extra tip there. That's why I'm moving everything to Kartra. But ClickFunnels has served me freaking well. It's $97 a month. It's very easy. It's got the sales page. It's got everything. But I know that there's Teachable, there's Thinkific, there's all of these other platforms. I'm only familiar right now with Kajabi, Kartra, and ClickFunnels just because that's who most of my agency clients deal with. But so I can't really recommend any certain one, but I will say this, ClickFunnels has served me well as far as creating the sales page and the membership site. It's super easy, but I'm starting to learn that Kartra is super easy too. By the way, I'm going to shout out to Danielle Duce. I think that's how you say her name. That's how we say it in Louisiana. Duce. But she's in the $7 group, so shout out to her. If you guys need like any help setting up a membership site with Kartra, I know Nancy is a huge fan of Danielle. She's shaking her head yes, and so Danielle comes highly recommended within this group. She has been amazing, and so if you need help setting up a membership platform within Kartra, Kartra is only $97 a month, and I'm gonna shout out to Danielle again. She sends me so many people. She'll probably have an affiliate link. So if you're gonna sign up for Kartra, sign up with Danielle, and she'll be your Kartra coach. She'll help you set everything up. Just reach out to her if you guys need a membership platform. I'm not even sure if she's on this call. I haven't even seen who's all on here. But anyway, let me pull up the chat so that I can actually see what's going on. Jock says Heights platform is awesome. Dr. Ed said someone else just recommended Kajabi. Is Kartra better or just able to monetize? Kartra, not that I'm plugging Kartra by any means, but I see Nancy shaking her head. I see someone else shaking their head too. What led me to go to Kartra for my membership platform was because the $99 price includes the affiliate program, includes everything. Whereas with ClickFunnels, I would have had to upgrade to the $297 level to get that affiliate program. So that's why I'm moving platforms over to Kartra. So no politics or anything. It's just Kartra has everything that I need at a better price that I could recommend to my people, because you guys, right? I don't think that a lot of people are going to want to build a membership site and affiliate site with, paying $297 a month. Most of us, I mean, when we're starting out, that's a little bit, too pricey. But anyway, I digress. But that's why I'm moving everything over to Kartra. But like I said, I'll tag Danielle in the replay on the group so that you guys can connect with her. But anyway, so basically, you're going to want to do your phases, and every single training underneath your phase is going to need to identify a small win. Okay. So for instance, in the first day of phase 1 inside this organic marketing sprint, on day 1, probably a lot of you guys are going to remember, what was it? Identifying and creating your vanity URL and your offer, right? And then making sure that that pixel is installed on that vanity URL. So if I go into, oh, I'm gonna have to sign into ClickFunnels. But anyway, if you guys go into phase 1 inside the 7-day organic marketing sprint, the very first training on day 1 is going to be centered on creating your vanity URL and installing the Facebook pixel on that vanity URL, okay? Here's the thing though, we want to make sure, this is super important, I'm gonna highlight this. You want to identify each win that your members are going to accomplish after watching every single video. So if you need to create some extra templates or anything, we want to optimize this content to make sure that your audience is actually taking action after every single video. We want to try, and this is a hard thing to do because I've got plenty of people in the $7 group that just binge watch my videos and they never take action. They just binge watch and then they wonder why they're not. And here's the thing, guys, the best way for me to help you and the best way for you to help your audience is making sure they're watching one video, implementing, and then coming back to you for questions. That is absolutely the best way that you could help someone. Like for instance, Nancy, super proud of Nancy. Nancy watched my module on creating a Facebook ad, a video ad. She went and did it, then came back and was like, hey, Laurel, can you take a look at this? Where did I go wrong? I was able to identify the one thing. She only did one small, tiny thing. And that was my fault because I wasn't clear in the training. But I was able to quickly give her a solution because she took action. And so that is why we have to empower our people with every single piece of content that we have, even inside this group, even if it's a free group, even if it's a low ticket group. We want to make sure that we are excelling our audience to that next step. In every single video, we want to have a small win. So as you are creating, right, as you're creating all of your content underneath your phases, I want you, and this is going to be your assignment today, I want you to lay out, right? You should have already laid out all of the content under each phase, but today I want you to clearly identify that win that they are going to, without a doubt, after they watch this video and they implement, whether and help them with any cheat sheets that they might need, help them with any resources that they might need, any affiliate links, right? For some of my lessons, I use a tool called Interest Explorer. And so I have that link underneath my lesson because I know that it's going to make people's lives easier when it comes to targeting with Facebook ads and reading Facebook's API, which is super freaking complicated, but this tool does it all for me. Is an example of a resource, a tool that I can help make that customer's like experience even better. Dr. Ed, I will actually post Interest Explorer inside the back office when I post this this lesson so that you guys can check it out. It's an amazing tool. And so basically, again, it goes back to we want to create a small win. Now, I know right now what you're thinking. You guys are thinking like, oh my gosh, how do I create all of this content and get people into the group like right now, right? Because this is something I want you guys to create this week, whether you are tearing apart your group from scratch and building it back up. Do not worry. Right now, I know you're feeling overwhelmed. You're like, oh my God, Laurel is giving me all kinds of content that I'm going to have to do. And so what I'm going to tell you to do right now is going to help kill that overwhelm, because you don't have to create all of that content at one time, right? Do you guys see where I'm going with this? What am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? I'm creating content for my phase 2 live where I'm able to actually take your questions and answer them. So this is what you're going to want to do. So when you're setting up, right, all of your phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, however many phases you have, you're going to create individual lessons with that small win, and you're going to do it live. Because guess what? When you start bringing people in for that new content, guess what? Do a live 5-day challenge and create your 5 videos live where people can actually ask questions. That's what I did with my organic marketing sprint. You guys remember that? I created the content for you guys. You guys went through it, gave me feedback, and I was able to create an entire 7-day organic marketing sprint module. And I actually was able to build it up with a lot of resources. Like if you go to phase 1, there's a ton of resources in there because of the questions that you guys asked. And so now you have a pathway, right? You could literally like map out phase 1, right? Map out phase 1. These are all the modules that are going to phase 1. And guess what? You can turn this into a 5-day challenge, a 7-day challenge. You could start this on Monday and start filling that group up with content that is going to accelerate people into that next step. I do a mix of 2 things. I do a mix of 5-day challenges to fill the content for my group, but it's also doing something else, right? It is so freaking powerful for me to teach this stuff live to you guys. Aren't you guys getting more value out of having access to me as I'm teaching you this and able to actually engage and ask me questions live? This is going to build more rapport and authority than anything else you're ever going to do. I know a lot of people want to do their marketing passively. I'm like, no, do it actively with your people, empower them to move on to the next step. Because I guarantee you guys, guess what? This stuff was all in the back office this entire time. But some of you guys are doing this for the first time right now because I'm here live doing it with you. And so those are the things, and it's only taking me like 30 minutes this week a day. I've planned everything out. I'm here. I'm literally doing this as I'm drinking my coffee. Like this is just my coffee time right now that I'm spending with you guys. I see Helen out there got her coffee too. And so it's like, this is something that the extra touches, and it makes building our content a lot easier just to do it live. And then it makes it less overwhelming, right? Because then you have your phase 1 done, right? Then next week, spend an hour, instead of like dividing it into 30 minutes, spend an hour and do a live webinar that has all of the modules inside that one webinar, and then just splice it into your next phase, right? So we're able to create an entire months of content live that's going to be way more beneficial to your audience than if you would have pre-recorded it anyway. Like right now, I guarantee you my students in my premium program are getting more value watching me teach that lesson live than they would just watching the modules in the back. That's why I'm not a believer in courses. I'm a believer in programs, because I love that one-to-one interaction. And I guarantee you that like your students are gonna appreciate it as well. Your patience, I see Dr. Ed on here. And so it's right. Kira says, amazing ideas, so simple. Yes. So many marketers are trying to overcomplicate you guys. They want to overwhelm you because they want to sell you acceleration and all of this stuff. But guys, and it's so funny. I answered a question yesterday. Ryson, he's one of my students in the 7-day program. He was asking me, he was like, well, what do I do once I start, people are liking my post? He's like, should I, what do I do after I add them as friends? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you do after you add them as friends? You go and you have conversations. Like if they, like one of the things that I do is when I add people as friends, I go and I have conversations. All we're doing, guys, is creating, like, it's almost like I see the term a lot, and I feel like that's what I do is, conversion conversations, right? Marketing is really just talking to people and literally providing a solution for what they have. That's it. That's literally, right? And so Dr. Ed has a question. Do you talk about general things or only your topic that you want to talk about? I'm not quite sure I understand that question, because we're creating a framework of content. We definitely want to, everything that we're going to do is strategic. And so if you're talking about like having a conversation on someone else's, on their friend's profile, I know we're digressing a little bit, just say, oh my God, your kid is so cute. That's awesome, right? Just sparking that one conversation. They're going to be like, oh, thank you very much. Guess what? I'm nosy. When someone comments and I don't recognize their name, the first thing I do is I go to their profile, right? And if that person's your ideal audience and you optimize your profile, like I tell you in phase 1, guess what? They're going to become your customer. It's simple. Like, people are overcomplicating it. Just talk to people. they're going to come to you. They're going to look at your profile. Your profile is going to do all of the heavy lifting for you. If you've optimized your profile and you have all of the content, everything that you're going to learn in phase 1 of this program, right? That's your small win. Your profile does the heavy lifting for you, and it doesn't feel like anyone's selling anything. So Jasmine asked a question. When requesting a friend request from a potential mentor, what is the best way to engage from the sticking your friends list exercise? I'm not sure what you mean, Jasmine. My apologies. I'm not sure what you're asking. From stalking your friends list exercise. Are you talking about you getting a friend request from a potential mentor? Like someone, like a potential client, or?
Do you mind if I come off mute? Can you hear me?
Oh my God, absolutely. That's much better.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just trying to put this in context from the exercise where it was stalking your friends list full of, people that you want on there, right? And so looking at that pyramid, I know how to engage with peers really well. I know how to, I don't know how to engage with mentors. So from stalking that, I know, first of all, thank you for accepting my friend request. But from doing this exercise and what you just said, if we wanted to go out and send that friend request and then follow up, hop in that inbox, engage from someone, because we're not providing as much value, right?
Right. So I would not pop into their inbox. I always start, and I never just pop into someone's inbox ever. That's kind of like my thing. And that's why I don't like direct response type marketing. But I like to engage with them content wise, because typically they will eventually reach out to you and start a conversation, or they'll move the conversation into Messenger.
Awesome.
Yep. It's all about like if you saw me do a Facebook Live and it had really valuable content, you would just comment, right? Like, awesome video, or hey, I'm going to go implement this right now. I'm going to take notice. I notice every single person who leaves me a relevant and thoughtful comment. And so I'm always like, even though sometimes I don't interact back because I have like a certain time on Facebook. And that's one of the things that I had to instill, is I only spend a certain amount of time on social media, and then I'm out working with my agency clients. I get off Facebook. I don't even have Facebook on my phone. I don't have email on my phone. I have Instagram story. I love Instagram stories. It's like one of my favorite ways to interact with people. But like, other than that, it's like on social media off. Like that checklist that I provided at the end of phase 1, do that checklist. That's my own personal checklist. I get on, get off. I'm on social media for about an hour a day. Checking all the notifications in the $7 group is getting a little bit longer every day, but you know what? It's awesome. I've got it all down to like a science. It's like, everyone's like, well, how do you do this without a community manager? How are you doing this all yourself? I'm like, organized. I'm very organized and do time blocks. And so just like download that checklist at the end of phase 1. It's going to help you guys get better structure for your time online as you're building out this content, right? Spend more time on the content that you're going to create within this group, right? So again, today your homework is going to be identifying the small wins inside each of those modules underneath each individual phase, and then start planning when you're going to do that live. We're gonna get this going. My assistant's like 5 minutes. I think Nancy, do I have you next? No, or is it? It's Robert. I know I have Robert and Nancy today. Thank you. So we're gonna have to wrap this up, but does anyone have any quick questions? So we all understand what we're gonna do. We're gonna create the content, at least the headlines, right? This is the module name, and identify what is the small win that I can give my client in this one video, and are there any resources that's going to help enhance the client's experience with this video? Yep. Oh yeah, Kara's excited. She's like, I finally get it, girl. I am excited for you. Can a customer journey have 7 to 9 steps? Abso-freaking-lutely. Trust me, some of my agency clients, their value ladder is like 11 to 12, like their funnels are like 11 to 12 steps, and that's okay. while it's like, don't overcomplicate it. Some of you guys might only have 3 steps. Like I know Dr. Ed, he's going to have 3 steps into his like entire customer journey. And so wherever he's going to put this way to interact with his customers, it might be simply like using what he's learning in this training. He might not actually put together a group, but he's going to take what he's learned in this training and create the free content that's going to help people move his audience forward. So that's just the one thing that I want you guys to actually understand, is just how to pull people through. Thank you, Pam. And you're very welcome. I'm happy to do this for you guys.
Laurel, can I ask you something real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm trying to get, stay on task and get caught up with all this, but I did create a group, and yesterday we talked about working on the ladder. So I'm working on the ladder, but I also have people that are joining the group. It's just sort of taking off. It started out with 2 people, and I got 40 people in already.
That's awesome. So what is the content that you're going to create to go inside this group?
So the first thing that I was going to do an exercise for them, just like visualization stuff, and try to create a live around that to get some excitement going. And then I wanted to teach them some basic stuff about muscle checking. So I thought I could do like a live like this and then have a Google Sheet and have different steps like of what we're
doing. So what are they going to accomplish after joining your group?
They're going to learn how to do a basic muscle check.
I love that. I seriously love that. Send me a link to your group. I would love to join your group.
Okay.
I'm into all of that stuff. I love chiropractic.
So that's something that could be their first win though. So they jump on a live, I show them.
You're going to build your authority and your credibility. Even if it's not all local clients, it's still amazing. It's still like amazing. Like, I mean, local, like people in your group, like it's just going to help build your authority in that field.
Well, people are really stressed right now. So I just want to teach them some of these things so that they can figure some stuff out. And, just eventually it'll blossom into coaching people who really want to figure out how to test their kids and test their family for different things and what supplements they're taking and all kinds of stuff like that.
Absolutely. Look, you've got a whole bunch of people. So guys, Dr. Ed, why don't you make a post in the group? Because I've got to run. Make a post in the group. You have my permission to actually promote your group, and we'll all join.
Oh, thanks. Okay, cool. It's called the Healthy Humans on the Go.
Awesome. Well, I got to go, guys. I'm almost late for a call. Nancy, I got you in an hour, girl. I'll see you in an hour. Bye, guys. Go execute everything you learned today, okay? Let me know. Biggest takeaway. Go post in the group. What was your biggest takeaway from today? See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.